Lots of news to get to this morning. I'm Corey O'Leary.
I'm Alina Hauter. Thanks for joining us for this episode of the Met Report.
And I'm Yekta Eskandari. We start today with these top stories. On Wednesday, Mesa Valley School District closed all 46 of its schools due to a virus outbreak that has rapidly spread throughout the student body. The virus being spread is a norovirus, commonly called a stomach bug, and symptoms include fever and vomiting. The virus can be spread through food and water, direct contact, and touching contaminated surfaces. The symptoms last between 12 to 24 hours. The school district serves more than 22,000 students and will stay closed until Thanksgiving break.
While operator shortages have been a very public issue, RTD is facing more and more problems. A national high fare, declining ridership, temporary service cuts, all while trying to improve quality and extend its reach throughout the metro area. Although some employees have voiced their disdain for the mandated 6-day work week, others rely on it, saying they need the extra income. During a 2-week survey called Your Voice Matters, directed by RTD, 59% of 13,000 participants were in favor of temporary cuts instead of unreliable service.
We're not keeping people because people don't want to work 6 days a week. I can't really take time off because if I don't volunteer, I'll get mandated.
If the temporary cuts were approved by the board, it would not completely alleviate the need to mandate employees, but would reduce the need for the same employees to work 6 days a week.
In other Colorado news, this October, Girls Rock Denver expanded from a summer camp into an after-school program. The organization teaches young girls to compose and perform their own music. I had the opportunity to see how this program positively impacts Denver's youth. Check it out. Girls Rock Denver has existed as a summer camp for 13 years. Last month, they launched their first ever after-school program in order to reach a wider community.
The coolest thing that our program brings to the community is a sense of resiliency and adaptation with our youth. So we're asking our kids to come in, learn an instrument where many of them have never picked up an instrument before. They get to learn the bare bone, the basics of how to play this instrument. And then we throw them into a group experience in a band where they have to create an original song.
What made me decide to join Girls Rock Denver is I like to play instruments, and like my favorite ones are the drums and the keyboard, and I just wanted to learn more how to play them.
We know that they have talent. We know that they have great things to say. What we want to do is help enable them to tap into that creativity and give them a platform for their voices.
Be yourself from reason, Susie in black and white.
We want to bring it no cost to Title I and low-income schools. And we are looking at how can we bring it for cost at some schools with higher socioeconomic backgrounds. So what we're really trying to do is create a space for girls and gender-expansive youth to be able to find their voices. We know that they have talent. We know that they have great things to say. What we want to do is help enable them.
I rock! You rock! You rock! We rock! We rock!
The Center for Disease Control and Prevention has found a possible culprit for recent vape-related illnesses and deaths. Researchers at the CDC detected vitamin E acetate in lung fluid from 29 patients suffering from AVALI, a lung illness which can be life-threatening. Vitamin E acetate is used as a diluting agent in vaping products that contain THC. The substance is considered safe when used in skin creams and as a dietary supplement, but can be harmful when inhaled. The report was made public by the CDC on November 8th.
Running through the heart of downtown Denver and right next to the MSU Denver campus is the Cherry Creek River. Reporter Jacob Wilson took a look at the Auraria campus sustainable program and their efforts to keep this waterway clean.
What we're doing here today is we're just doing a Cherry Creek cleanup. We have about 5 people here just with grabbers and gloves as the Auraria Sustainable Campus Program. It's our mission to make our community better and cleaner.
Tons of cigarette butts, needles, nasty trash of all kinds, including paper towels, broken cups and bottles. Yeah, just tons of amazing things that shouldn't be left along the creek here.
This was a big team effort. We had to go for a little bit of a swim to get this out. My only question to someone who would put a scooter in the river is why?
Being in Colorado, we have such a vital source of water. I mean, we're the headwaters for not only the eastern part of the country, but also the western part of the country. It's really awesome to see that a group of students and community members are willing to come out and do something that's so important, since this river is not only vital for our community, but for the greater watershed. And, you know, it's just the little things that make such a big difference.
We do have something in the works to go to Alpine Waste. We also just launched the biggest single roof solar panel array in downtown Denver. So we're doing a lot of big projects at the ASCP, and we're hoping to continue all of those in the new year.
Well, guys, I think it's great that they're cleaning up the area.
Yeah, I love walking down near Cherry Creek, and it's so much more pleasant when there's less trash.
That's for sure.
I bet if you wanted to take a walk on Cherry Creek today, it wouldn't be the best day, right, Brenden?
It most certainly would not. It's been a little bit chilly, and in fact, this morning we got quite a bit of snow. But if we head over to the weather wall, I will show you what the radar looks like right now. As you can see, the snow has kind of moved away from the metro area quite a bit. It's down south on the southern I-25 corridor between about Colorado Springs and Pueblo. They're still going to see some snow downstairs, but up here in the metro area, we are clearing out and the sunshine is out. Of course, with daylight saving, the sun is going to set within the hour. But as it stands, 30 degrees here at the airport, 33 at Centennial, 12 degrees at Berthoud Pass, and 23 in Leadville. Most of the western slope is in the 30s and 40s at this hour, but that'll drop overnight. Today's high, 37 degrees, clearing skies. The snow is given way to sunshine with a bit of a breeze out of the south-southeast at 4 miles per hour. Now, coming up on the Met Report, warmer weekend ahead. The temperatures will warm up a little bit. We'll still be in the 50s, but it'll be a nicer weekend to get out, perhaps go to the Cherry Creek Trail and go for a little bit of a walk. But there is another round of snow coming to start the work week. I'll have details on that in just a minute. And of course, your 7-day forecast and your Thanksgiving forecast. Stay tuned.
Coming up, MSU Student Government Assembly implements an initiative that illustrates impoverished students.
And Gordon Sondland contradicts top White House officials under oath.
Plus, have you heard of Colorado's first blind hockey team?
Thanks so much for staying with us. College can be tough, but pursuing higher education as a mother can be even tougher. Reporter Jessica Livingstone is here today to give us a closer look at one student mom in particular.
Thanks, Alina. I had the pleasure of seeing a day in the life of new mom and CSU Denver student Kenzie Knight. Take a look at this impressive woman as she adjusts to her new life with her new addition.
I was pregnant on February 8th, 2019. So it was right after my semester started, my junior year. My semester was definitely the hardest because I was so sick and I had really early morning classes. So I would go to school and I was throwing up all the time. And finally, one of my professors just told me, like, don't worry about my attendance grade. I was doing fine in the class, so he was really understanding. Only luckily going twice a week, so I was going Tuesdays and Thursdays. I had him on a Thursday, so I missed class that day. And then I took 2 weeks off after I delivered, and he was in the NICU since he was so early. So that was definitely harder because I had to go to the hospital to feed him and, you know, do everything with the nurses with him while also trying to balance school. So when I was pregnant, I was working 2 jobs, but now that I've had him, I'm only working 1 and going to school. So I run a photography business. I have a great fiance that helps with everything, and whenever I'm at my photo shoots or weddings or whatever, he watches him, and then luckily I can do all my work, like the editing of my photos and everything, at home when he's asleep.
If you are a new mom on campus, make sure you know the resources available to you to make being a new mom easier. I'm Jessica Livingstone reporting. Back to you.
If you're walking near the Jordan Student Success Building, you may have noticed the colorful flags on the lawn. The Student Government Assembly planted 20,000 flags as part of their Homelessness and Hunger Awareness Initiative. Each purple, green, and red flag represents MSU Denver students experiencing food and shelter insecurity. The SGA at MSU Denver claims that 1 in 5 students are homeless. 9 out of 20 students are experiencing food insecurity, and 62% are housing insecure. The SGA's goal is to help students who are struggling and let them know that they are not alone.
1 out of 5 students are homeless and 9 out of 20 students are food insecure. Along with the FLAGS initiative, so we are partnering up with the food bank to donate food to the food bank and also making fall baskets for the upcoming holidays.
In May of 2019, fans of internet celebrity Mr. Beast challenged the YouTuber to plant 20 million trees to celebrate him reaching the same amount of YouTube subscribers. Jeremy Donaldson, known on social media as Mr. Beast, teamed up with the Arbor Day Foundation to launch the Team Trees campaign. The campaign will attempt to plant 20 million trees by 2020. The trees will be planted all over the world in areas of great ecological need. So far, Team Trees have been able to raise enough money to plant over 15.8 million trees. For every $1 donated to the nonprofit, Arbor Day will plant 1 tree.
Baby, it's cold outside. A recent survey showed Denver is the 3rd best city for singles looking for relationships this winter. It's better known as cuffing season, where people find someone to settle down with during the colder months. However, the relationship itself only lasts until the spring, just like the snow. The study shows 70% of Gen Z and 63% of millennials are searching for love, with about 14% of singles saying pressure from family and friends is the reason they seek out long-term relationships. Denver was beat out by Indianapolis and San Diego for best cities to be single.
If you are looking to avoid politically charged arguments at the dinner this holiday season, Mattel is releasing the first perfect game for you. The toy company is putting a twist on the wildly popular card game Uno called Uno Nonpartisan. So the focus can stay on the game, Mattel removed the red and blue cards and replaced them with orange and purple in an effort to avoid any possible political discussions. They have also added a special veto card that can be used to skip the turn of any player who brings up politics during the game.
Safety on MSU Denver is the main concern on many students' minds, and while we can't predict when school crimes will occur, I spoke with 2 survivors from the serial campus stalker who shared their stories and how they got help.
It started my freshman year of college. I remember going into the Tivoli to the bookstore to get help to find a book, and he works there.
In my sophomore year, I realized this first semester, I was on the light rail and I felt somebody staring at me really intensely.
During a 12-month period, an estimated 14 people in every 1,000 ages 18 or older are victims of stalking.
I just remember receiving a message request from Facebook, and I swiped, and I went to go see who this guy was, and I went to go check the profile, and I recognized him. I was like, oh my God, it's the guy from the bookstore, right?
And I look up, and it was the guy, and he would not even blink. He was just staring. And I got off when we got to the light rail station here on campus, and I walked to class, and he was following me. So I walked faster. He walked all the way until I got to class.
7.5 million people are stalked in 1 year in the U.S.
He was kind of off with his messages, like he would keep blowing up my phone a lot.
And when we got to campus, he was following me to class.
15% of women and 6% of men have experienced stalking victimization at some point during their lifetime.
I just started to notice that he would I was in class, and when I would come out of class, he was waiting there sitting outside of my classes.
I told my teacher about it, and she actually took me to the Phoenix Center because she's like, I don't think this is normal.
We would bump into each other, and I was like, it's weird because I rarely bump into my friends. It's such a big campus, how would he even know where I was at?
But for these 2, their light still shines through.
I feel like I'm more alert. It's kind of hard now because, like I said, I'm just more excited about being on campus. I'm actually more aware of my surroundings.
Don't be scared. There's so many resources on campus that will help you. The Phoenix Center has helped me so much.
Hello, and thank you for staying with us on the Met Report. I'm student meteorologist Brenden Mincheff. National temperatures right now, it's cold for a vast majority of the country. 77 in Miami is the warm spot on the map right now. 60 in Charlotte, 50 in Nashville, 30 here at home in Denver, and 60s and 70s on the west coast. National radar, it's fairly quiet right now. There's not a whole lot. There's a little bit of a system here in the Midwest that's given us the snowstorm that we've had this morning. Also a little bit of a system now pushing off of the New England coast out to sea, which is going to be no longer an issue for them. However, This weekend is going to be quiet, and I'll show you why. Right now we have this little bit of a system sitting over top of us. Looking ahead, the weekend, it's going to level out a little bit, but then as we go into Monday, our next snow event appears as this lower pressure and colder air drops down into the state, and we're going to take a look at exactly how much snow you can expect. The rest of today, right now, snow is pushing off to the south. We've already talked about that. We're going to run it through the weekend. It's going to be beautiful. Nothing that's going to stop any outdoor plans. There's going to be a few clouds that come in late Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening around dinner time. It's going to knock our temperature down, but we're not really going to see any precipitation just yet. But as we push off into Monday, now we're sitting up Monday about 3 o'clock. You can see this pink here on the map. That's mixed precipitation. So a little bit of rain, a little bit of snow. We could see a little bit of icing on some, not quite on the roads, but on maybe some of the lawns. Continuing to run it. Tuesday morning, very, very early, 3 in the morning, we could see a lot of snow just potentially dump pretty quickly from the system. It's going to be pretty quickly moving, but 1 to 3 inches could fall in the metro area and areas north of Denver along the I-25 corridor, locally heavier amounts closer to the mountains as per usual. However, Tuesday afternoon, 4 o'clock, getting ready to head home from work, no problems, nothing to worry about. That snow is going to really continue to push off, and unless you're going pretty far out onto the eastern plains, you're not going to have a whole lot of falling snow to deal with. However, tonight, 27 degrees, mostly clear skies with a breeze, wind out of the southwest at 10 miles per hour. Tomorrow, 52 degrees as our high temperature, sunny skies, not really any clouds to worry about or speak of, with a little bit of a breeze with winds out of the south at 6 miles per hour. Now, the day everybody wants to know about Thursday, it is Thanksgiving. What is the forecast? 47 degrees. It should be a pretty nice Thanksgiving. Slight chance of snow, I'll talk about that more in a minute, but mostly clear skies for the vast majority of our state. 7-day forecast this weekend, 51 degrees on Saturday, 57 on Sunday. Not really worried about any precipitation here. Low around freezing both nights. However, Monday and Tuesday, I said that as that front moves in with the, going to bring the snow chances, it is going to knock our temperatures down. We're going to be in 40s on Monday, 30s on Tuesday. Wednesday, we're going to bounce back up a little bit. And on Thursday, there could be a little bit of snow that kind of works its way in towards the metro area and some of the higher elevations, but it's really not going to be a system that's going to dump snow like it did today or that we're looking at on Monday or Tuesday. So thank you for joining us on the Met Report this week. I'm student meteorologist Brenden Mincheff. Stay tuned because Politics with Bri Hernandez is next.
Thank you for joining us today on Politics. I'm Bri Hernandez. President Trump's ongoing impeachment investigation started its 4th hearing this past Wednesday. U.S. Ambassador to the European Union, Gordon Sondland, testified that he was, quote, following the president's orders when President Trump instructed him to work alongside his personal lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, in the attempt to pressure the Ukrainian government to investigate former Vice President Joe Biden. Some Republicans claim Democrats conspired with the Ukraine to interfere with the 2016 election. The beginning of the 4th impeachment hearing, the Senate trial could begin as soon as January should the Democrats control the House of Representatives vote to impeach President Trump. 10 Democratic candidates battled it out this Wednesday at the Democratic debate. The 5th debate took place this week in Atlanta, Georgia. This debate mainly focused on the impeachment hearings, and the candidates dove headfirst into discussing what exactly is going on in the White House and their take on the situation. There was also major discussion of hot topics such as federal legalization of marijuana and Medicare for all.
I have a lot of respect for the vice president. This week I hear him literally say that I don't think we should legalize marijuana. I thought you might have been high when you said it.
Some students don't have the support they deserve, and that was the case of a young woman who was able to succeed with perseverance. This certain individual shows others that obtaining an education has no limits. Our reporter, Yasin Meza-Miranda, has the story.
How was I going to let my daughter travel with people that I've never seen before, and risking that I never see her again? Just like her mother tells the story, Frida immigrated to the United States as a newborn with strangers.
My dad came first, so he completely on his own came over to the U.S., started working and trying to set up that foundation for us so that when we came over we had a home and somewhere to stay.
Gabriela hid the fact that Frida was undocumented, but she found out when she was 16 years old. My niece came and told Frida, "Are you documented?" And my daughter's reaction was like, "What is that?" Yes, if you're undocumented, you will be deported. When Frida completed her senior year of high school, She dreamed of continuing her education, but she realized that it wouldn't be that easy.
It was really hard to find that out, knowing that all my friends were about to go to college and I had to pretend like I wasn't interested in college anymore.
It was 2012 when President Barack Obama announced the DACA program, and Frida's mother was happy because her daughter would finally be able to accomplish her dreams. Although she was able to attend the University of Denver, also known as DU, attending a college where the majority of students are Caucasian was difficult.
So after that, I decided to speak my story, right? That's when I decided that I was going to share the fact that I was undocumented and that I had made it this far and start asking for help, because I figured while there may not be anyone else talking about it, I'm sure I'm not the only one.
Frida graduated from DU with 3 majors: International Studies, Social Legal Studies, and Spanish.
My parents did not bring me here to give up on my dreams, so I'm not going to give up on them.
For the Met Report, Jocelyn Mesa Miranda.
Hey y'all, I'm Trystin Swan and I'm here to bring you the rundown on sports. So let's skate into the hockey rink. Hockey is still the fast-paced sport we know and love today, but there's one new twist to the sport. The Colorado Visionaries are Colorado's first blind hockey team. The team started in January of 2018 and has begun to grow thanks to the partnership with the Colorado Avalanche. Team manager Kent Martin is a big advocate for players of all ages. Steve Patton is the goalie for the team and tells us some of the differences between blind hockey and talkie.
This puck here is one of the main differences right now in the sport. The only other main two differences in rules are the net is shorter, it's a foot shorter in order to keep the puck on the ground so we can hear it. And once you're in the offensive zone, you have to make 1 pass before you can take a shot on goal. And those are the main differences in the sport.
All right, let's transition into MSU Denver sports and onto the basketball court. The MSU Denver women's basketball season has started, and so has the high school season. What ties these two things together? The involvement the women's team has within high school programs. The team is heavily involved in high school programs that want to improve on team chemistry and help high schoolers meet positive female role models. The team often invites young athletes to sit on a healthy hot locker room chat at halftime and even get a chance to warm up with the MSU Denver starting lineup. On top of the team helps teach younger generation basketball players the fundamentals of the sport with the Community Skills Clinic. Way to inspire the next generation of ball players. All right, the season may be over, but that doesn't mean we still can't talk about baseball. Most MLB players play an average of 100 games a year if they remain healthy, and athletic trainers play a big role in having players stay fit.
The Boston Red Sox have a history of success, and so does one specific trainer and Colorado native who graduated from MSU Denver.
It was great. It was awesome. It was a lot of hard work that me and my classmates put in, and we felt a great sense of accomplishment. We woke up at 6 and would be here early in the day, and then we'd leave late at night. So this was our life, and just feel special just graduating from the school.
Nick always had a love of sports growing up, and he knew that he wanted to be working within them.
It's kind of a sense of love for sports, and kind of wanted to be around sports. When I was younger, I had hip dysplasia, so multiple surgeries, and it kind of took me away from sports, and athletic training gave me an opportunity to kind of get my way back into sports. So.
In 2018, the Red Sox won another World Series, and Nick was there to witness it all, and was even given a ring.
That was incredible. I was so happy. There's a lot of emotion behind it. Just incredible, because it was being handed that. It just reminded me of being there and watching it. My job means the world to me. I never really had a job like this, and the community and coworkers and friends that I've made, it's become a family, and the one thing that they've taught us is pay it forward.
MSU Denver says reimagine possible, and Nick wants to thank his professors and the Human Performance and Sport Department for making that World Series ring possible.
You know, it's just so inspiring seeing fellow roadrunners go on and achieving things like a ring. That's awesome.
That's true. I mean, I'm just trying to think how good one of those rings would look on this hand.
I mean, I think a World Series ring is pretty impressive, but personally, I think I'm going to win a Stanley Cup. And speaking of hockey, is it cold enough for any lakes to be skated on next week?
Well, I'll tell you a team that's cold, and that's the Tampa Bay Lightning right now, my hometown team. But no, Corey, it's not going to be cold enough to go skating on any lakes here this week. We will get a little bit of snow on Monday and Tuesday, but in terms of, anything freezing enough to actually go play hockey on it or anything like that, no. I would not expect that for, a little while longer. But Thanksgiving looks beautiful, 45 degrees, only a 10% chance of snow or rain on Thursday. So happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Get out and enjoy it.
Well, that's all the time we have today on the Met Report. We hope you enjoyed this episode.
You can watch us every Friday on Campus Channel 20 and on
Comcast Channel 58.
And make sure to check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and on mymetmedia.com. Thanks for tuning in, and have a great day.